Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast and game 1 now in a series, and let me double check this as always. Alright, let's do that, and I'll include this in the video. Why not? Because there's not much really lost by showing you that I am actively recording the sound of my voice. Alright, in the bottom right hand side of the map we have Snute spawning as the blue Zerg player. Meanwhile, Grubby, playing under the name Grubby, spawning as the green Protoss on the top left-hand side of the map. Green, always his favorite color to use, going back to Warcraft 3 days when he was the green orc and always played orc. Now, Protoss versus Zerg on Ohana, and I am interested to see how this particular game will be opening up. Now, Forge Fast expansions are very common, but we see Grubby actually opening up with a closer pylon here, and I am interested to see how he's going to be going for his expansion. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the Zerg. Zerg so far hasn't shown anything just quite yet, and I am interested to know if we are going to be going for an earlier spawning pool or if we are going to be going for an earlier hatchery. Let's take a look at the opening now. You can see Grubby opening up here, getting up that gateway. Meanwhile, it looks like it will, in fact, be a hatchery. First, coming in from Snute, sitting at 15. And there goes the drone. He will grow up and be a hatchery. And following that, there should also be a spawning pool back somewhere off over here. There's the hatchery now coming into play, as we do see rocks being placed down at the bottom of the ramp, making it difficult to be able to actually wall in your opponent. Now, so far, Grubby is actually going for a very, very heavy gas opening, and I am very curious as to how this particular opening will work. Double gas coming in before the cybernetics core, and with that, the cybernetics core will be a little bit delayed. He's not even going to be going for a zealot or anything of that nature, as he quickly dumps in 2 probes, perhaps going to send in a 3rd one in just a moment. No, only 2 probes there. He needs to get every mineral out of the mineral line as quickly as possible. Now, Snute is going to come across here and see, wait, this natural expansion looks awfully bare. What is going on? Did I miss any proxy gateways, or are there actually buildings inside your base? We can see that there is now 3 workers here. Grubby sitting at 13 or 14 over 24 workers, still chrono boosting out workers, as he now has plenty of gas. And what is he going to be doing here? All right, Zealot. I thought I saw a Zealot being trained, but it is no longer being trained that I can see. And are we going to perhaps be going in for a sentry? A sentry now. Now, the reason why this particular strategy works is that Grubby is actually going to be using this mothership core as defense. The mothership core is going to make its way over here to the natural expansion. And once this nexus is operational, he can go ahead and add on that photon cannon, that photon overcharge to try and protect. That mothership core is a very, very effective harassment unit as well. I do not believe it can go toe-to-toe with a queen, but still that mothership core can act as a bit of a harassing unit, forcing the queen to perhaps miss a couple of key injects. Taking a look in, we can see that the warp gate tech is coming online. A Twilight Council is being warped in the backfield here, so we could be going for Blink Stalker play off of 2 bases. And if this is in fact the strategy, I am curious to know what Grubby plans to do with this mothership core and where exactly the player or the units will be blinking from. This would be a prime location to try and blink from, as we now see Snute still going for a very heavy economic opening. So there is that heavy economic opening there, as more and more drones are coming in. 34 drones versus 25 probes. Mothership core off to the side. Does it spot anything as of yet, as the mothership core quickly comes in now and going after 1 drone. 1 drone will get taken down. There it goes. A 2nd drone may get taken down. Has to be careful. Now needs to pull away, as it is taking damage from that queen. This is some bad play here, as the Mothership Core will be forced to back off, and there is also a hatchery here. So is this hatchery actually going to take a lot of damage? No, the Mothership Core is deciding not to stay near here. The Queens will be able to make their way over there momentarily, as the Mothership Core is now backing off. Meanwhile, one sentry is sitting at the ramp, able to wall that off here, as we are now also going into a Dark Shrine. Grubby, I thought he was going to be going in the Blink Stalker play, actually going into a Dark Shrine here on Ohana. And with that, he's going to need a lot more gas. You can see him taking up a third assimilator. These two assimilators have been mining for quite some time. And with that, that is going to be very, very important and very key to spot. We are already nearing Tier 2. Evolution Chamber is no longer needed for Spore Crawlers. So it is very, very easy for Zerg players to defend and stop those Dark Templars. All it takes is a matter of seconds. But here we go. There is that Mothership Core, and what is going to be happening here? The Zerglings now making their way over. Are they going to spot this? Yes, they do spot one proxy pylon. Zerglings now off over here, going to spot another pylon. And what is happening as more and more units are warping in down onto the low ground? Another pylon there, but are the Dark Templars actually going to deal that damage? Spine Crawlers, Spore Crawlers coming in. There's a cancellation there. Two Overseers quickly coming in. And down goes that there, as the Queen now trying to run away. What's happening? This one particular hatchery taking a bit of damage off over here. You can see swipe. All these units just swiping away, as the Dark Templars hitting in a very good position. Oh, actually, this Dark Templar did not need to leave that location there, and would have dealt a lot of damage. So far, this Dark Templar now trying to shut off this particular hatchery, but this does not look like it's going to be a good ending at all. Snute, it looks like it will be able to finish off this Dark Templar before enough damage is dealt, and there you have it. The Mothership Core trying to finish off the hatchery. The Queen actually outside of range just a bit, and now is able to push away that Mothership Core once more. Wow, huge play, as Grubby now currently behind economically, 54 to 47. A fourth base already being established, so Snute has two options to either be aggressive in terms of his economy or his production in the later courses of this middle game. Now, Grubby is deciding to follow up this play with a lot of warp gates, and perhaps going in for more warp prism play. This does make a lot of sense. It is a much more mobile army. He needs perhaps a lot more zealots with weapons upgrades in order to deal with the Zerglings, but the Zerglings are going to be getting that armor upgrade here in just a second. And with that armor upgrade, the Zerglings will not get two-shotted by those, or one-shotted by those zealots. This is all very important, as we see more Stalkers now and more Immortals being added to this army composition. Now, what are we going to be seeing here? Oh, down goes a probe. Force field does not capture any of those Zerglings. A little bit of a misstep there, as we are going to see this Overlord now getting shot out of the sky. You can see how much damage is being dealt. There it goes. Pop back down onto the ground, as the Warp Prism now looking to perhaps do a very quick drop. Is it going to be more Dark Templars, or perhaps are we going to transition into Archons, as the Zerglings are making their way up inside the space? This is not good news, and all these units are now just going to be running rabid inside. All right, there is one Zealot here. The probes need to fight together, as one pylon is going to get taken down, or pylons could get taken down. All right, the Zealot did get surrounded. This is still not good play, as Snute is just absolutely dominating this game throughout much of the match. Nexus now currently maximum on energy. He is not even spending time to chrono boost any upgrades out. And this is just not a good showing from Grubby. This is not the typical play we expect from Grubby, as Grubby is now down 27 supply, down 18 workers, and also down in terms of army supply. Is he going to have a large enough army to really deal with all of these units here, as another Dark Templar gets swiped down? An Overseer does get sight of it, and there it goes. So, what is the follow-up plan going to be? Mothership Core, Stalkers now moving together. We can see Hydralisk now being added as well. No Colossi. to help deal with this entire Zerg army. And without that additional splash damage, I don't believe Grubby can win. Archons or Colossi, one of the two are needed in order to deal with this massive Bio Zerg army, and I don't see either. Alright, this expansion may get taken down. Is it going to get taken down here in just a moment? I believe it will. And meanwhile, Zerglings are going to be pushing their way over. Roaches and Hydralisks now moving in as well. A large number of force fields. Mothership Core should be trying to recall all these units back home. Where is it going to recall? And yes, Scroll of Town Portal. Yes, it does work. And there you go. All the units back home and ready to fight once more. Alright, let me go ahead and change that to busy. Perhaps that's the reason why I keep on getting updates. Now, let's take a look. Zerglings. Front door, double pylon wall. Zerglings and Roaches looking to push through here. Is it going to work? There is one Immortal in the back. Oh, Immortals could be coming in from the side as well. And those Roaches are going to be able to break their way through. These force fields actually going to be hindering Grubby from defending now, as one lone Immortal quickly gets taken down, as some of these Zealots will be falling again. That force field not working out all too well. Immortals still trying to battle it out here, and the Roaches are just attacking the Immortals. This is not a good trade, but it looks like the Hardened Shields have finally gone, and more Roaches still reinforcing. Continuing this fight, Grubby still trying to hold off the Zerg swarm, and it looks like he will be able to do so, but it doesn't look like he will be able to follow this up. He's not going to lose at this point in time, but he is very, very much behind. 74 versus 66. He is now going to be forced to take on this double expansion from Snute, and Snute has a 30 supply advantage at this stage and point. Zerg, a higher mineral army, but significantly less gas. But I believe that is made up for the fact that we do have superior upgrades. 1-1 versus 2-0. Never mind. So the upgrades are fairly even, as we're now finally going into Colossi. Extended thermal lance range is being added. Roaches now making their way over. Snute perhaps should be taking down these destructible rocks to be able to move his units all across the map that much faster. Overseer here, and Snute now with a 50 supply advantage, looking to find where Grubby is and make sure he cannot take an additional base. Alright, if Grubby were to come back into the game, he would need to do another mothership recall move to snipe down a base. You can see that all the Zerglings are now off here, as the Dark Templar is hiding itself. Overseer didn't even bother to keep track and keep sight, as the Stalkers and Immortals are making their way in. There is one Mothership Core, and here we go. Stalkers quickly blinking back, deciding not to engage there, as the Dark Templar will finally get cleaned up. So we could be getting perhaps a multiple gateway wall on this ramp. Would be a very, very smart call. We are going into Psy Storm, but it may be too little too late. Let's take a look at the losses. Losses are about even, but it's really been a talk about the economy and Snute. Snute's sitting on a 200 supply, looking for the right time to attack. It looks like the time may be now. There's a time warp as the Colossus quickly gets plucked, quickly gets taken down. More units could get plucked and taken down as well, as the Zerglings are dealing with a whole bunch of High Templars here. There is still one Viper in the air, no Abduct to be seen. Stalkers, Immortals still here, and are we going to perhaps see another pluck of a key unit? An Immortal would be a nice target, and there it goes. So just yoink, get over here, take it down, and there is the GG. Grubby losing game 1 in this series. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.